It's Monday. Let's start a vlog. My name is Monte. That's what I go by. This is my 20th year teaching, my 10th year here at this school. I've been teaching first grade. This will be my second year teaching first grade. Before moving to first, I taught second grade for a very long time. Decided after a couple of weird years, I needed a little bit of change, but not too much. And so I just moved down to first grade and I love it. I use Google Slides to help me get through my day. When the kids come in, we usually have a song. Since it's Halloween time, my favorite time of year, they have a Halloween song. When the song's finished, everyone should be on the carpet ready to go. After we have our little morning meeting, they're gonna greet each other and they're gonna find some positive words to describe themselves. Might have to go over what positive words mean and give examples. And right after, I have math. We're gonna start with some counting backwards. That's gonna be a fun one. And then I'm gonna go into my math. I do groups, so while one group is doing my math with me, another group is going to be doing ST math, and then my third group is going to be doing a walk the room with math fact families that I got from TPT. It's lunchtime. When I last left you, it was 8 o'clock in the morning and I was preparing for my day. My hair has dried. This is my natural monster of a hair, and it's perfect for Halloween. My outfit for today is nothing but spooky, scary ghosts. Halloween is my favorite season. I have all the clothes for it. When I left you, we had gone over math. My song for the week for them to hurry up and get to the carpet is The Water Cycle. I play a song. It's usually a 2-minute song, educational of course, and that just gives them time to get themselves cleaned up and to the carpet. If they make it to the carpet, they get a point. If they don't, I get the point. This week we're going over Creepy Carrot, their favorite, and we are going to go over, or we went over, problem and solution of a story. I think this one's by Primary Scouts. I think that's what I'm using. I bought their bundle, her bundle for Creepy Carrot, Creepy Carrot underwear, and their new book of Creepy Crayon. So the kids have been looking forward to that. Last week was Creepy Carrot, and so I'm just finishing up. I'm not a master chart maker, but we just used the printouts and we talked about Jasper's problem and then solution. And at the end, we brought in what the carrot's problem was and how their solution fit in with Jasper's problem. One of my friends said that it was like a cycle, just like our song, because it was going in a circle. Without the carrots having their problem, they would have never had to scare Jasper into building the fence, which fixed their problem. So he actually said that Jasper building the fence was the carrot solution as well. And so I had to give him a thumbs up, kiss your brain moment, because he's right. Without them scaring Jasper and following Jasper, he would have never built the fence, which would have solved their problem. After that, we're going to go over phonemic awareness. My school did buy me Haggerty, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Yay! Always ask for things. They find money for you. Ask and you shall receive sometimes. They're going to do some phonemic awareness just from Wonders. After our phonemic awareness, we're going to go into Lexia. That's our program we use on our iPads. All the kids have it. When kids are doing Lexia, I will be pulling a small group. I'm actually going to pull my highs today, and when I pull my highs, we're going to work on introducing accelerated reader. We use it in school. Beginning of the year, I really don't push it. I have some, that are still learning their alphabet. I do have about 6 that are readers. When they took their STAR test, they have a 1.0 to 2.0. I do have a 2.7 reader in my room, which is a second grade reader. And so I'm gonna show them some books. I'm gonna let them choose a book, and then we're gonna start reading it. And then I will introduce to them how to take their AR test, which is a comprehension test on their iPad, so they can start earning those points and prizes at our school. I just grabbed these from our school library. They're all labeled as first grade, in the middle of first grade. So that's gonna give them a little bit more of what they need, because our curriculum right now is stuff they already know. So they do whole group with us, and then I'm gonna try to push them to get to their level with our AR program. After Lexia, I play our song again, which is on the water cycle, and then they make it to the carpet and we do our poem of the week. This poem is Five Little Pumpkins. We've been doing it since last week. Today is their last day with it. I will have a couple of kids. I will have my friends read it first grade. They need to be able to read poems. So those that are ready to read it for us will read it to us, and I'll just mark it down for their report card. And then I have the poem printout for them. Everybody has a bag. In their bag, they have a composition book where they put their poems in. So we have our poems from the beginning of the year. We have some phonics readers in here also. And then I have our poems, and they will glue it in their poem book. And then they will spend about 5-8 minutes reading it to themselves. This is our poem book. They also have little readers that go over their sounds of the week, so decodables. This one's by Samantha Kelly, so they have the short I sound. This one is by Christy Menser, and this went with our Unit 1. Week 1, Jack and Nan, that short A sound. So I always have a decodable to go with our week. And then when we were doing our Smart Start, it was on Three Billy Goats Gruff, so they have a booklet in there. They also have one for Jack and the Beanstalk, and they might have one more, but I don't remember what their reader was for the first week of school. But they have all these inside of their baggies, and this just gives them that fluency practice, that repeated reading. One day they will read by themselves for 5 to 8 minutes. The next day I'll have them partner up and read with a partner for 5 to 8 minutes. They'll read to themselves, and it just goes back and forth. Sometimes I pick their partner, sometimes they get to pick their own partner. And again, it's all 4 points. If they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, they get a point for them. If they are too talkative, if they are moving around, if they're just not on task, I get a point. And then at the end of the week, whoever wins gets something. Hi, I left you off right before lunch doing poetry. Poetry, we read it, put it in our books. Some kids read it to me. I had 5 kids that read the poem to me. Tomorrow I'll ask for more. We change our poem. After that, we did our reading. Like I said, Wonders, we're in Unit 2, Week 4. We're closing up the week tomorrow, and we're gonna do our phonics test. On the paper it says a weekly spelling test, but I just tell them it's a phonics test because I want to make sure they're learning those sounds. I do pull groups again. This group that I pull is a EL group, an English learner group, and for that we do a lot of sentence frames. Today we worked on writing a sentence. My friends are in different levels, same EL level, but they have different levels when it comes to ability. So I have a friend, we wrote sentence today using our picture prompt. This is his sentence. He was unable to tell me what his sentence said. So it's something that we need to work on. Today, when he wrote his sentence, he had to tell me the sentence first. I wrote the sentence for him, and then he copied the sentence off what I wrote. So that way we're practicing writing the sentences, because just leaving him to write a sentence didn't work. Again, different abilities in my EL group, even though they're the same level, they are different abilities. So this is my EL friend. He wrote, she is hula hooping. I have them write everything out before, and that way they have to sound everything out. He tried his best in hula hooping. I had to explain to them what a hula hoop was because they don't have that prior knowledge. So I told them what a hula hoop was. I showed them a hula hoop we have in the room, and then they wrote their sentence. So he wrote, she is doing the hula hoop, and so I helped him fix the sentence by writing doing to show him what the word is doing, and then we had to fit in the word the hula hoop. So that was one activity they did. After they did that, we are going over our short O's. And so our short O sounds, we used this book, Where Can You Hop? It is a repeated text. Again, different ability levels. So for some, this was quite easy. For others, this was very hard. And we read it together. They circled the words that had the short O sound. And then tomorrow we'll reread it and we will write them down on our book. And then to end, we went over our high frequency words for that group. And so it's just flashcards, and we all said them together one at a time. And we just went through a couple of them, and then that was the end of my grouping for my EL students. My second group that I pulled during my rotation time was a lower leveled group. I only pull 2, and it tends to be the same 2. Once a week I do pull my highs just to touch base with them, go over some writing with them usually. My lower group that I pulled today used the same packet, and they wrote their sentence. I had them rewrite it once we fixed it, and so it was the girl was doing the hula hoop, and then we went over capitals, periods, and some of those words. I'm really focusing on the ing sound because a lot of them cut it off and say doin', and so it's usually an en when they're writing something, so I'm really focusing on having them write ing at the end of the words. This one was about the baby crying, so the child put the baby is crying and the baby wanted milk, and so I showed him crying again because he put crying, and then everything else was fine. I don't expect them to write everything perfectly. I don't expect them to spell everything perfectly. I still am very big on sound it out and use the sounds that you know. After that, that group did our short O sounds, so just flashcards. And with the flashcards, they read them. If they read it, they got it in their pile, and I went to the next student. And so each child had different words in their pile, and then they had to pick a word from their pile and write a sentence on the desk. I have them write on the desk and they love it. I have them, or I let them write with marker, felt tip marker pens when we're doing our work. Yes, it's messy, but again, they're excited to use it, and so I let them because it just brings more joy to them. After groups, we do a Go Noodle, just to get them up and moving. There's a lot of Halloween ones this week, and so they've been enjoying doing those. I showed a video on punctuation, and then we wrote different kinds of sentences. We're doing more of a statement. We don't say declarative, we say statement, a telling sentence, exclamatory, and then question. We don't use the upper grade wording. That's what the upper grades use. So they'll get that in 3rd grade, but I like to have it there and I'll say it. But we use statement, question, and exclamation. And they give me an example of each. And then we did a Google Slides. And so I had students come and they moved the punctuation to the correct area to fix the sentence. So we did a couple of those. Each kid got a chance to fill it out. And then we finished our pet monster writing. And that was my day in 1st grade. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I upload this, Natalie, upload this message to self. At the end of the day, they clean up, they go home. I clean up my mess that I make. I would show you my desk, but it is a disaster. I'll pick up a little bit. It is 4 o'clock, 3:57, so it is time for me to go home. I am a mom of 4. Today I'm only playing taxi today, so I get to pick up my high schooler from football practice, and I will be home making dinner, helping my kids with homework, and making sure they get to bed. And that is a day in 1st grade in Miss Montes' class. Hope you come back.